Well, thank you for joining us on this question. This question, we've got a trig, it's got a cos curve, and we've changed the period, and we've translated it to the right or to the left. So we are asked to find out, we start with y equals cos ax, that's the dashed line, and then the solid line is y equals cos ax plus b. So this is the line that we are asked to work out the value for a and b. Now, what does a do? Now, a adjusts the period. So when you've got a value in front of x, so when I'll highlight this value here, a, then the fact is that the period of a cos graph, which is y equals just cos x, the period is 2 pi. That means it would start and finish at 2 pi. And because it's the cos curve, it starts at 1, goes down to -1. But if we adjust the period, then the period is in fact 2 pi over that value, over the multiplier of cos. Now I'm going to put up here, sometimes we have a, sometimes we have a b, sometimes we have a c. So this time here, that adjusts the period from 1 to -1. So we don't have a value in that position. In our equation, it's 1, and it goes up to 1 and down to -1. So the period is still 1. So capital A is 1. B here is our value for A. That's the value we're looking for. So I'll just make that green, that A value is a B value. So 2 pi over that value, whatever that value is, I'm going to put capital B. And we see that if you look at the period, what is the period? So there is a value and there is pi. How many of those are there? Let's look at the sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this value here is pi over 6. So that means this value, everything is increments of pi over 6, pi over 6, pi over 6. Pi over 6 radians in degrees was 30 degrees, but we're using units, not degrees. So we keep everything radians when we're dealing with units. So pi over 6, whatever that unit is in decimals, 3.14 divided by 6, so about 0.5 something. Now, let's go from this point on the graph. I want to find out how big a period is. I'm going to put from the bottom here to the bottom here. Now that goes to that increment there. And if you go from this position to this position, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pi over 6. Therefore, the period of our graph is in fact, period is 1 pi. So the period is pi, and the formula for period is 2 pi over, and our b value is a. So I can bring a up here, bring the pi down here, cancel the pi. Our a value is 2. So we so far know that we've got y equals 1 cos 2 x plus something. And this constant is a smallest positive value. Now, if we take this cos graph here, by the way, this is our shift our horizontal shift, our translation to the left or translation to the right. Now, if we move it to the right from this point all the way across to this point, we've moved it across, or no, we're moving it not to that point, we're moving it to this point here. So if we move it across that far, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 pi over 3. Now, if we move it across 4 pi over 3 to the right, then our equation has to be x minus 4 pi over 3. We don't want a negative number. So let's move it back the other direction. We want a positive number, not a negative number. So where is that taking us? If we look at this part of the graph, from here to here, we're moving it back 2 lots of increments. So it's coming back pi over 3 and pi over 6 and pi over 6. It's coming back 2 pi over 6's, which is pi over 3. So if we come back, then our graph has to be, we've got to put an x plus pi over 3. Because it's moved to the left pi over 3, we put a plus pi over 3. Just got to make sure that that doesn't look like a negative. It's actually just pi over 3. And now we know that this should be plus pi over 3. Therefore, A is 2 and B, the smallest positive number, is pi over 3. All right, I hope that's helped. Until next time, stay happy.